Хлопцям передати.
Обережно заходимо через гранату.
Any grenade in. This GoPro footage is awesome. Hey troops, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan and I'm a former Royal Marines Commando from the United Kingdom. Today we've got some GoPro footage with regards Ukraine. I haven't translated, and in fact no, let me see what this title is. It is titled, trying to get the translation up quickly, they took prisoners, cleared the forest without losses. It's regarding the counter-offensive in Donetsk region. So this is a brand new video. It was up yesterday. I'll put the link in the description as always, troops. This footage is pretty long, but it's really, really good. It gives us quite a clear view of what it's like on the front lines over there from the Ukrainians' perspective, guys. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. But before we do, please like, share, subscribe to this content. And yeah, if you want to support me further, Patreon link is in the description, troops. Let's do it.
Провели хлопців на штурм.
Розпочали концерт. Постріл! І от вони вирушають.
Першу годину, нора. 40. Прийом. Взяли пленного.
Ще 3.
Right, what we got here? Got some, I don't know if that's enemy captured. It looks like it.
Росіян здаватися.
They're pretty close. I mean, it's hard to judge based on this video, but literally within hundreds of meters, I would guess, with the enemy. So yeah, it's pretty good to see a different side, a different perspective to this footage, troops.
Це ви з штурму?
Так.
Слава Україні, хлопці! Вам!
Зайшли без втрат, все добре. Трохи жарко, а так нормально.
Ну, маленько. Де ти знаходиш?
Іноді печально буває, але сьогодні нормально.
It's interesting to note as well, troops, that a lot of these guys seem quite upbeat. It's hard to stay upbeat in a battlefield, you know, especially one such as Ukraine. The war that they're fighting over there is pretty horrendous, but a lot of the Ukrainian soldiers seem really, really upbeat about the situation. They're certainly not lacking confidence.
Свідки, штурмовики будуть висуватися, відбивати у росіян ще один клапоть нашої дорогоцінної землі. Тут, як ви вже знаєте, успішно кілька тижнів тривають штурмові дії, а сьогодні побачите на власні очі, як взагалі це відбувається, наскільки це важка робота.
And if anyone speaks the Ukrainian language, please add some context for us in the comments. Obviously, they're not in too much danger. You know, Ukraine is quite a professional fighting force. The fact that he hasn't got a helmet on tells me that they're probably not within enemy's reach. I would like to see him wearing his helmet though. But that's just my opinion. To a position, I think, to be able to react to potential enemy fire.
Завдання взяти штурмом декілька окопів, які знаходяться в лісовій посадці. Отже, ми висуваємося з точки, пересуваємося тихим методом та штурмуємо посадку.
Останні кілька тижнів ми бачимо успіх на цій ділянці,
Так.
що значно вдалося просунутися.
Звісно, так. Це ми працюємо майже через день, тобто дійсно роботи дуже багато, але вона стоїть того. Кілометри йдуть, ми працюємо. Це добре. Втрати також є, і це без цього ніяк, але вони мінімальні. Завдяки тому, що працюємо професійно,
I wish I could understand what you're saying, guys.
працюємо знаємо свою ціль.
А ми ще будемо вас чекати і потім довго будемо записувати після, коли будете втомлені, виснажені.
Добре.
Все, дякую велике, удачі.
Будь ласка, дякую.
So those sounds are not too far away. Credit to the press, especially the woman, you know, for being that close to the front lines, armed with just a
Повели
camera.
хлопців на штурм. Сподіваємося, що все буде добре. Віримо в це. Тримаємо кулачки. І зараз поїдемо на командний пункт, звідки теж буде видно, як відбуваються самі штурмові дії. Так, ну на багі ми ще не їздили.
So there's one thing I want to add before we go any further. With regards press and stuff, don't think that these guys aren't in danger by being there. You know, it's been well documented throughout history that, you know, unfortunately, in some cases, the press are actually targeted. It's something that shouldn't be, you know, freedom of the press and all of that. But these guys are targeted, and in war, it doesn't really discriminate that much against who they're going to shoot at, especially when you're talking about this war in particular. The Russians are going to fire at anyone that they possibly can, okay? This is the way it is. So the fact that the press is on the front lines, don't be fooled in thinking that, oh, they're safe, you know, they've got a big press sign on, happy days, because it's not the case. They're absolutely within the grasp of potential danger, that's for sure. that vehicle sounds worse for the wear, that's for sure. I don't know how old it is. Yeah, it sounds like an old Call of Duty game sound effect. That's been definitely artillery, definitely
Кілька
mortar
тижнів тому
strikes.
росіяни стояли тут, так?
Умовно кажучи, так. На той стороні теж саме були орківські позиції. Успішно відбиті 80-ю бригадою.
Уже на багато кілометрів вперед просунулись.
Трохи є. Але ми не зупиняємося.
Оце, що ми чуємо, розривається і розривається. Оце бах-бах-бах.
Smoking and using a drone with an iPad. Technology in the field now is just even so more sophisticated than when I was in the military, guys. It's quite phenomenal.
Нас подавляє противника, аби він не міг відбивати штурм. Тобто це нормальні свисти і вибухи там далеко.
Плюс прийняв.
Really sort of vague, you see now.
Після авіанальоту попали, здається, по БК, по чомусь, що файно горить, от воно горить. Так. Є
Wait, is
розрив.
that solar? Is that a solar thing? A solar charger on his phone? On his on the controller?
Посадочці. Не в нашій.
I've got that drone, but it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know what
В
that is.
таких постійних вибухах, при таких от постійних прильотах
Doing a bit of
ніхто
aerial
особливого
surveillance on
бажання
the
піднімати
targets.
голову не має. Це дає можливість нашим хлопцям підійти достатньо близько,
Warfare is
щоб
so
вже стало
advanced
пізно піднімати
now.
голову. Ну і також відсікає
Trying to find
підхід
where they are,
аеру.
obviously. Looks like they're obviously fighting in the wood. PWAF fighting in the woods and forests is what we call it in the Royal Marines. Really, really dangerous. So you can see there the friendlies moving through. They've got eyes on, eyes in the sky, be able to direct them through, which is really, really helpful in a jungle forest environment.
Основна задача – бачити все. Тобто ми спостерігаємо за підходами ворога, щоб не підтягнули резерви, ми допомагаємо нашій арті. І так само в багатьох випадках ми іноді супроводжуємо групу безпосередньо зверху на низькій висоті. Тобто те, що хлопці бачать знизу, воно відрізняється від того, що я бачу там з 30 метрів зверху. І вже на прямому зв'язку з хлопцями операції в режимі реального часу там вказую, куди їм більше звертати увагу, чи там звідки вогонь ведеться і такі речі.
What badge is that, troops? Let me know in the comments.
Кайфую, просто кайфую. Я дуже цікавився цією темою, як тільки почалась війна. Деякий час до цього я працював на трошки іншій посаді, але не так давно, десь, не так давно вже, місяця 2-3. Я перевівся на розвідника і прямо отримаю задоволення від цього. І від того, що я бачу, іноді теж. Взагалі найбільше подобаються моменти хорошої взаємодії, хорошої роботи, коли і управління, і артилерія, і штурмовики всі разом, всі щось роблять, і у всіх все виходить. Ти такий, я беру в цьому участь. Дуже подобається, коли робота виконується і виконується добре. Ой, курва. Касети або фосфор.
So it's not that big of a forest, but they need to clear it. Got like an ATV vehicle on standby potentially. Probably it's for casualties.
Бліндаж труситься. Росіяни прокинулись, почали по нам працювати, по нашій арті.
Геннадійович, розпочали вже. Прийом.
Здалеку буде? Та ні, трошечки. Я вже...
На зв'язку.
Твій вихід.
Плюс.
Так. Ти піднімаєшся?
Я вже дивлюся.
Добре, бо зараз буде працювати бронегрупа.
I mean, one thing that's on this side at the moment is the weather seems to be a lot better, like possibly too hot.
Там через деяких маленьких приїде подаруночки, буде роздавати, то ви трохи там поакуратні.
Плюс, прийняв.
What we got here? What we got here? Got movement. Is that friendlies? That looks like enemy, to be fair. We could be getting a bit of traction here now. This looks like it could be an enemy tank, potentially encroaching on the Ukraine's positions. There's definitely stuff going on.
Це ми його чуємо, так? Відпрацьовує, так?
So that vehicle is firing right in front of them.
Нижче забирай. О.
There's a lot of traction there. Someone's getting lit up, that's for sure. Okay, it looks like the Ukrainian soldiers are getting ready to, the anti-tank crew are getting ready to take this thing out. Possible ambush.
Плюс.
Possible ambush that, prepared. It looks like they were in position ready for this thing, so that's possibly an ambush being set up in waiting. It's hard to tell, guys, I can't understand what they're saying. Definitely looks like some form of ambush. They're not just reacting to that being in the vicinity. It looks like a bit of a planned operation. That obviously that tank, there was tracks there already. It looks as if they've potentially got intelligence that this is coming there every day or something, hypothetically. But they're there in waiting, and the tank came. They responded pretty quickly, so that tells me intelligence on the ground let them know that it was already going to happen. So they're there with an anti-tank crew, and they're there to take the bloody thing out.
Василій, виходи зараз пішли, може почекаємо.
It's got the RPGs.
Мало за трубу не зайди.
And he's getting the hell out of the way. This is a fortified position as well. They're firing from their positions in the trench systems, so this could turn pretty difficult pretty quickly. We've seen what Ukraine can do to trench systems. The same can happen the opposite way around, guys, okay, depending on what the intelligence is on the ground for Russia. It seems like there's only one tank within the vicinity, so I wouldn't imagine they'd be planning full-scale operation to take over trench systems within that vicinity. But, you know, we've seen Russia in the past do something similar with, you know, sending their tanks in without any supporting units whatsoever. Zero artillery, zero mortars, zero air support, not even supported by mechanized infantry on the ground. Just literally send the tank out and allowing them to try and conduct operations that really, you know, British military, Ukraine military, Western military, NATO standard military would throw a whole lot of assets in to do something as such, but it's crazy what you see.
Просто камту, походу, розчищаєте. Постріл.
The only problem I see with this is they're firing from a location where they seem to be static, and it's a bit of a it's built up in the sense of that they seem to be semi-permanent there, giving away their position.
Плюс-плюс.
Наскільки продвинулись?
Я знаю, ну скільки, кілометрів 5-7 за пару тижнів. Ні, ну кожен штурм це десь приблизно там до 700-800 метрів. Зараз це поля, ну точніше це ліса зараз йдуть. Посадки такі дрімущі, то трохи складновато. Ну як трохи, ні собі складновато. Якщо це просто там, дерева штучно висаджені, то це одне. А коли бурелом, от, наприклад, як зараз буде посадка пастора, то навіть не посадка, а це кусок лісу. То там дуже складно. То хлопці заходять 2-3 метри, вже нічого не бачать. Дуже обережно просуватися треба. При наступі, звичайно, потерь більше. Це дуже важко. Це важка праця. Хлопці роблять таку справу, інші можуть просто цього не стягнути.
Тихо, тихо, тихо. Тихо, тихо. Стяжечка. Віктора.
He looks young. He looks really, really young, troops. Can't be no more than 20 years of age. Possibly younger.
Заїжджали по своєму напрямку. Вони там сидять уже перед самим этим. Хай загляне, вигляне туди, щоб не залазив, чи там є, що немає.
Right, I can hear a drone. Looks like these guys are getting ready to potentially go and start a fight with some people. Getting to the good stuff, I feel now. There's this kind of footage, troops, is a little bit slow and tedious. Hopefully you're still here to enjoy it and you know, continue to watch it. I know people's attention spans aren't quite what they used to be, but if you can just stick it out, and I'm pretty sure it gets busy within the next couple of minutes. But while I've got your attention, troops, please consider joining the Patreon, okay? I really need support on there. It's where, you know, content creators such as myself can get a little bit more longevity out of it. You know, these videos don't get monetized on YouTube, so I'd appreciate it if you joined YouTube. Ad-free and uncensored, troops. Patreon, sorry, not YouTube. Birds letting people know that they're in position. That's the only problem. Nature can let you know. If you're in tune with nature, the birds will start chirping crazy when people's in the vicinity of them, okay? When I was in the jungle, we started to get in tune with all of these different environmental noises and stuff. They're definitely going on control. Yeah, we're going to go near the area first, soften up the targets, make enemy move, and then we're going to get involved. Wait and see what happens now. Starting to breathe heavy, you can tell the nerves is getting up, the adrenaline's kicking in. The drones above giving aerial support. Nerve-wracking times.
Так може туди накидати трохи десь?
Але вона переговорить.
А,
Розберися, що він хоче,
Oh, what they're looking at
якщо
here.
ні, то мочить.
да я думаю, що він жити хоче.
Зліва від тебе ще хтось є? Від тебе, від тебе. Вліво є?
They've got to be careful making noise for the enemy to see them as well.
Чекай, чекай, чекай. Ну все буде нормально. Все, заїбись. Мішаємо.
На прийом. Взяли пленного, взяли пленного. Алло. учасники забирають, акуратно сектора криємо.
І хлопці акуратні, він вже не один. До якогось комика
Hey, kind of monster, my man.
каміказу нам ще не хватало, якщо він один там сидить.
На першу годину, на першу, на другу годину одиночні вистріли, як прийняв прийом.
То по краю?
Плюс. 40 метрів. Плюс прийняв.
Getting the grenade launcher there, getting it ready.
Від тебе на першу годину, нора, 40 секунд зависне. Як прийняв прийом? Плюс прийняв, далеко від мене. Прийом. Далеко від мене вона на час. Їм прийом.
На зв'язку.
Одиночні вистріли, то друзі праворуч.
Ну, гарні друзі.
Звісно.
Плюс.
Оновлення, чому росіянин залишився один на позиції.
Та долбаний. Може свої саме його кинули там. А може він навпаки сам туди прийшов, ширнувся і забув, де знаходиться.
Потягую їх сюди вправо, а я зустріну тих чуваків, відправлю їх туди вниз.
Плюс. Дивись, тут зразу йде оце, поняв, яр. І по яру йде ще такий ярчик, поняв.
Да.
І оце нахуй лінія оборони, блін. Розкопують.
Можна, але просто що ти знизу вверх будеш дивитися.
Ну трохи да, там 2 метри, типу, то, де ти мене бачив.
Ні, то ми яр спустимо, піднімемося, якщо так. Ми перед яром заляжемо тут, щоб не в яру бути.
Кажу, добре, поки так, а зараз побачимо. Все, плюс.
Right, it's really hard to gain context onto this, but they're obviously looking for the bad guys. They're trying to soften up the targets with grenades and RPGs and all of that good stuff.
Друзі сообщили, що там, блядь, в бліндажі ще
They're supported by these guys. It's like an HQ element, and yeah, that's all I can kind of really make of this at the moment.
сидять, блядь, 2 тикера. І вони забігли там, бо наші вже там близенько підходять.
Добре, я зараз Юрій скину.
Ага.
Все, Саш, дякую.
Вони ще будуть працювати там, але ну на всяк випадок хлопцям передати.
Обережно заходимо через гранату.
Yeah, getting the grenades in. We've got the heavy machine gun there, supported by a clear fire support element that you can hear there. And the rounds are coming in on their position pretty heavy as well. That kind of firing there I'm not a fan of. You can't be accurate, and it's, you know, it's better to be accurate than just getting rounds over the heads. That's what the heavy machine gun's there for, effectively, guys. So if you don't realize, you know, or you don't know, forgive me, when you're attacking a position, ideally you want to have, you know, obviously an attacking troop, or just let's just say a troop of men. You've got a couple of sections, and you've got a fire support element. Okay, that can be fire support by heavy machine guns, light machine guns, mortars, that sort of stuff. Okay, and that'll normally be off to a flank. Whilst you're pushing on that position, the suppressing fire can come down to keep the enemy's heads down, to keep them dislodged, keep them understanding that the enemy fire is coming from a certain direction. Then the attacking group can come through a little bit easier and obviously do the killing. So if you're the person firing over with your weapon system like this, it's not really the best use of your weaponry, okay? Fire support should be softening that position up with, you know, general purpose machine guns and light machine guns and 50 cals, softening the targets up with grenades and stuff. But firing like that, although it looks cool, it doesn't really serve any major purpose there. He needs to be accurate as an infantry. That's his job, okay? But look, I'm not the one there. These are the guys doing all the fighting. They're doing the hard work, all right? I'm not. that's enemy grenades coming into their position. It looks like there's enemy grenades or something coming into the friendly positions. Might be reading that wrong.
Доповіли, що от з той квадрата, то що я кидав для друзів з аеромобільного, знялись птарки і побігли в нашу сторону вже. Ну все рівно... Да, ну трохи все рівно обережно.
О, це тут все в деревах, це все, блядь, бліндажики у них.
Робота самоскида буде зараз. Там.
Eyes in the sky.
Полетів коптер зі скидом. Там граната.
These things are so useful to be able to get quick eyes on, fast, get them into position
Це наші
really
вже
quickly.
просунулися туди, де до сьогоднішнього ранку ще були росіяни.
Pretty sure anyway. This dude's
На
obviously
кількасот метрів.
a specialist individual.
приблизно
He's
десь
blurred out or
150
just doesn't want to be involved in the video.
Що сталося?
Ще 3 росіяни здаватися.
То це може всі, які були на цій позиції, чи ні? Чи просто решта відступили?
Job done.
Вони, коли будуть допрошені, вони скажуть. Я так розумію, що...
На тій позиції, на новозайнятій.
That's some big weaponry right there happening.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Ви з штурма? Ви з штурма?
So he seems fatigued. He's obviously been involved.
Ну, маленько. Це ти знаходиш.
2 weapon systems.
Ну, маленько.
Okay, troops, so I think we're going to leave it there. There's a lot of footage in that. We've already been on for nearly 30 minutes now. If you want to see the whole thing, then the original link is in the description, troops. Please go have a look at that. But I think for context, they're just going to be doing a bit of a debrief, talking about what they've done now. It seems as if they've been on an operation to clear out a wood block of enemies, okay? I think the enemies were located in the woods within a trench system. I might be reading that wrong, but that's what it certainly looked like. They used assets such as the drones to get an eyes-on bird's-eye view of the situation, enabling the Ukraine soldiers to be able to effectively move on to target with little delay and with little problems, okay? What the eyes in the sky, the drones can do, from my perspective, seeing it there, is give them a much bigger battle space picture of what's going on. So instead of just going into the woods and thinking, let's take this position, we've got intelligence that there's enemy there, what the drone can do is have a look at the bigger picture in and around the wood block, and obviously further in-depth positions, have a look and see if it's safe for them to do so anywhere, okay, without the expectation of having to fight on through and past those enemy positions. And it seemed to work pretty effectively without taking any casualties themselves. They cleared the wood block with support from the sky, coordinating the movements through. They had to use different tactics to be able to get to that position. They softened the targets up with different forms of weaponry, heavy machine guns, grenades, and a grenade launcher as well, which obviously, you know, it softens the targets up. It gets the enemy in a bit of a haze and allows them to move on through. And as we've seen here, successfully conducted the operation, got the enemy combatants, some of them, out without actually losing their lives, so they've taken them as prisoner, which is, you know, that's what happens in war, guys. It's not just all about killing everyone. It's obviously getting them troops in behind enemy lines and taking them in for questioning, because the individuals that they've captured might actually hold pertinent information that may help them secure further objectives in the future, okay? Gives them a bigger understanding of the potential battle space and obviously the potential movements of other troops within the area. The area of operations. So really good video, that a little bit different of pace. Nothing was alarming or distressing or anything there, so it shouldn't get demonetized on YouTube. But if it does, guys, please consider joining the Patreon. Link is in the description. It's the only way I can make money on these things. I hate talking about money, but you know, I'm a content creator. I'm a full-time guy in this, and that's how I make money. And a lot of these videos just aren't monetized, unfortunately. So if you could do that to support me, if you're watching this, I'd really, really appreciate that, troops. I can't thank you enough. And yeah, drop a comment for the algorithm.